into competing strands, and out of this chaos comes the first gospel. Part number 4. Out of this chaos comes the very first gospel, known as the Gospel of Mark. The date is anywhere from 65 to 75 CE. The location is possibly Rome, possibly Syria. The audience is very important. It is a suffering, persecuted community, and the purpose of the gospel is to explain the fear and the chaos that's going around in Mark's community. Mark is the earliest of the 4 gospels. It is short, urgent, and raw, full of tension and secrecy. But the question is, why did Mark write it? And the answer is because eyewitnesses were dying, communities were frightened, Rome was terrorizing Christians, the temple had fallen, and people were asking, if Jesus was the Messiah, why are we suffering? And Mark in his gospel tells them, the Messiah suffers, the true followers suffer, salvation comes through endurance. Mark's Jesus is understood as lonely, abandoned, mirroring Mark's community. And the gospel is the foundation on which Matthew and Luke later build their gospels on. And they copy Mark, word for word. But why would 2 authors copy another gospel almost entirely? The answer reveals one of the biggest secrets of early Christianity. Part 5. From the Gospel of Mark, you get the Gospel of Matthew and Luke, and the infamous mysterious gospel known as Q. First and foremost, Matthew and Luke both copy around 90% of Mark's gospel, yet they contain large amounts of material that is not found in the Gospel of Mark. For example, the Lord's Prayer, the parables, the instructions to the disciples, the temptation stories, the ethical teachings. The question is, where did this shared material come from? Historians will tell us that it comes from a source called Q, which is short for quell, and it means source. But what exactly is Q? According to most scholars, Q was an early written collection of the sayings of Jesus that was written before the Gospel of Mark, used by both Matthew and Luke, and lost to history, but can be reconstructed through comparison. The Q Gospel contains teachings, wisdom sayings, parables, prophecies, instructions, but what the Q does not include is the crucifixion, the resurrection, the miracles, and the story of Jesus' birth. Q's Jesus is a teacher, a prophet, much closer to the Islamic understanding of who Jesus is. If you think the Q Gospel could have been the Injil, let me know in the comments. This proves something major to us. It proves to us that early Christians preserved different memories of Jesus, not one unified tradition. Now, let us examine Matthew and Luke. We'll begin by analyzing the Gospel of Matthew. The date is anywhere from 80 to 90 CE. The audience, again, is very much important. It's a Jewish community that is expelled from the synagogue. The location is likely Syria, and the purpose of the Gospel is to prove that Jesus is the fulfillment of Jewish scripture. Matthew writes for followers of Jesus who still consider themselves Jewish, but who were still being punished out of their religious communities. After 70 CE, Judaism reorganized under the Pharisees. They rejected Christian claims and expelled them. And Matthew responds to that by saying that Jesus is the new Moses.